what drives me to do research is my own curiosity.
Curiosity.
And sometimes you may have good idea. Your idea may add on what we know so far. But if you are not doing well in terms of robustness, it will be rejected also. You have to ask yourself, are you convinced with the results? You have thrown the half of theory. If you are not convinced, why you share with others?
Okay, Prof. Now we talk about sometimes the student, normally if they want to see me discussing about the papers and the papers finish, now the student, of course, since they are still student, they do not know where to publish.
Okay.
So what is your suggestions in terms of if the papers like this, you have to go to this journal. So how can you can you give a suggestion
I
to
think
the students?
for students, it's quite difficult to decide on the journal where they may not know the quality of journal or criteria of the journal. But then one thing that they have to know for sure, the scopes.
Scope
Scope of their work. If they do something on macro, there are journal in macro out there. They look at general economics and so on. If they publish something about, let's say, the capital market, there are journals that are good that publish paper in capital market. And that the first one, they must have a list. Right? For example, economics, there are a lot of journals. Singapore Economic Review, Asian Economic Journal, International Journal Economics that are average journal, then a higher level journal, for example. A lot of paper in economics. And now, which one to choose? Of course, we have to make assessment of our own paper. Right? What quality that we have and so on. Because certain journal have certain requirements. Like for example, one journal editor said rightfully, you have to use panel data, multi-country study. Without that multi-country data, we are not going to accept your articles, for example. So you have to know all those things. And that provide need guidance from the more seasoned researcher.
When do we have to look at it, Prof? I mean, when look at the aim and scope of the journal, is it prior to the writing, during the writing, or after the writing?
Yeah, it can be prior, it can be after. Normally, I look after myself. Look after because what drives me to do research is my own curiosity.
Curiosity, yes.
When I get everything and I see, the result might be interesting, might be of interest to others. For example, I start looking at with this type of topic, what are potential journals. Right, and students also need to know that certain publisher now they suggest the journal. They just need to they provide suggestion which journal that fit that scope.
Or if that paper is rejected and they provide
if rejected or not rejected, you just need to provide certain thing. They call journal finders, for example.
Journal finders.
I think Elsevier have, Springer also have, I'm not mistaken.
What do you mean, journal finders?
No, you provide a keyword to, I have article on this topic with this abstract. Can you suggest me the journal?
Or you ask the managing editor?
No, you ask the publishers. Like Elsevier, for example, they have, right? You can find the journals.
Is it we have to email or we just?
No, it's just on the internet.
Now
it's a lot easy. Easy to get. So because they will match your research topic with this journal potential for your work. And certain journal like Elsevier, for example, if they reject your journal, they will send you email to you. These are we know that your paper rejected, but we would like to suggest this
journal. That one, yes, I have experience on that one. Yeah, Prof. But of course, for the student, Prof, if they have done their writing, of course, after aim and scope, and then normally sometimes the student ask me like this. Okay, Prof, I'll do this. I'll do this. Do you think this can be published in the Scopus? Well, I normally suggest the students that, okay, your ideas compared to the previous literature, relevant previous literature study, your idea is having a good position or not compared to other paper. And your ideas, is it in the concern of the government or not? Is the concern of the ideas in the journal or not? Is that the concern of the practitioners, in the bankers, in the zakat, in the... If yes, then your idea is good.
Yeah.
How is your response?
Yeah. Okay, you look at to publish in Scopus or high quality journal, right? You must be able to convince that compared to what people have done, you add something.
Yes.
And that one very important, which means that you contribute.
Yeah.
So you must be able to explain what are the gaps that exist, and you try to fill that gaps.
Yeah.
Which means that your idea complements and improve on what people have done.
Yeah.
Right? And the second part, to publish in good paper, not just that idea alone. When you get results, how convincing that result is.
That's the thing which I want to ask
very
you.
important.
Yeah.
How convincing the result is. If you just take data and just run one regressions and say, oh, these are my results. It's not.
We need to elaborate the result.
We have to look at the result. We have to recheck the result, because when it comes to statistical analysis of data, there are a lot of assumptions.
Yes.
You have to check again alternative assumption. You have to check again alternative measurements. You have to check against alternative estimation methods. So you must be robust in terms of evaluating the issue or assessing the issues to be able to publish in good journal. And sometimes you may have good idea. Your idea may add on what we know so far, but if you are not doing well in terms of robustness, it will be rejected also. So you must be, and of course you must do it rightly, in the right way, right? And that one is important too, right?
Robustness test, how important is actually, because like 10 years back, I don't think there's a robustness test.
No, very important, because see, the idea is kind of 1920s, for example. I think that there was an article written, right? Let's take the con out of econometrics. Right?
Let's take what?
Conman.
Cornman. C-O-R-N.
C-O-N.
C-O-N.
Con.
Con means what?
Penipu.
Oh, okay.
The conmans out of econometrics. The reason being...
Sorry, what do you mean? Let the conman out of econometrics?
Take out the conman out of econometrics. They take the conman out of econometrics.
Oh, okay.
Because people use econometrics but report the result only that support the idea.
Oh, yeah.
So you run 100 regression, but you report only one. Right? So, because it's really easy. You can get whatever result that you get, and you just report, and this is my result, and this is right. And that's why paper before, they don't have robustness check. Now they put requirement robustness check. The reason why, because you have the model you put in. Right? Let's say you have dependent variable, you have the key independent variables. And then you have other control variables. And then what you can do, you just play with the control variable and get the result that support you, stop. No. So people might ask, if different set control variable that people have used, for example, what might be your results? Right? The same thing. You specify your models, you use one estimation method. People say, no, your estimation method may not be appropriate. There exists endogeneity problem. You have to use two-stage least square. What might be your results? So you have to check again all alternative way of doing things. So that no arguments. You close all gap, you close all room for people to argue back that you are not doing the right thing, for example. You can show them, look,
even I do the robustness, this result is the same.
The result is the same. you criticize again my measure of credit risk, but I also use alternative measure of credit risk, but result more or less in line, for examples. So once you do those, people said, okay, robust and so on. So you have to do a lot of this thing, you know. And people may say, okay, you estimate using GMM, but GMM is not good for small sample. Look, I start with GMM because I think GMM can address endogeneity, but I acknowledge the fact that I have small sample, and that's why I also use bias corrected least square dummy variable for small sample. But the result remain the same. See? So
that's very
those who have different preferences and so on, they will see your result. Okay, you have covered a lot of ground. Right? You have covered a lot of things that, of course, you cannot be perfect, but you have covered a lot of things and deliver the results. So those are very important part. And sometimes, but robustness check must be done with the right purpose. Sometimes people just do robustness check. I would like to do robustness checks. Okay, this is my model. Robustness check, just add one more variable. That's not robustness check. You must have the reasons, assumption behind robustness check. Those are something that need to be learned and need to be looked at, and we learn from the article that has been published.
So the robustness test is not only changing the method, it's not only adding or replacing the variables, right?
No.
So more importantly is what when we do our robustness test.
One article that I did for Singapore Economic Review, for example, I look at the impact of monetary policy on income inequality. Right?
Income inequality.
So I have middle income countries, all of them. In my robustness check, I said that, okay, because my measurement of monetary policy is using interest rates. Right? Using interest rate. But then in my group of countries, there are also countries that have a fixed exchange rate regimes.
Fixed exchange rate,
fixed exchange rate regimes. Right? So what it means in this case is that certain countries, when interest rate doesn't move, doesn't mean they do not conduct monetary policy. They may use some other measures in order to fix exchange rate. Right? So which means I try to mix up countries of different types. Fixed exchange rate and flexible exchange rate. So I said, in one of my robustness checks, I will exclude countries that have fixed exchange rate and just look at the flexible one and look where the result remain the same or not. So you must have reasons.
The important one is the reason.
Reasons why you want to do the way that you want to do it.
So the reason and then reflected in the changing in the variable or method is changing, right? Okay. And sometimes, Prof, if we run hundreds of variables, method, and then we just report is only a few things, like the one you mentioned, somehow the reason why we report only a few variables is because we could not answer the reason why this result against the existing theory. Sometimes it's difficult, Prof, to justify this. This is not the same with the theory. I cannot explain.
But then by doing that, for example, you done different way. And okay, half of them again the theory, half of them support the theory. So you take one support the theory. But you have to ask yourself, are you convinced with the results? You have thrown the half of theory. If you are not convinced, why you share with others? It's irresponsible to share with others something you yourself are not convinced. Right?
Betul.
So it's go back to you, right? That's why I said, if you have the objective, in objective publication, you tend to do that.
For the purpose of publication,
you tend to do that. But if you have the objective curiosity, try to learn. And once you learn, you try to share, you will not do that. So motivation.
This is very important.
Very important.
So very important whether our main intention is the curiosity or publication.
I have many papers that I wrote, for example, stuck halfway because results are so strange, haywire here and there. I just stopped there my research. What I mean here, I may need to read more. Maybe something wrong in there.
How long have you spent for this thing, Prof? for that one paper, half, then you.
Look, sometimes half you compile data, because the way I do things quite quick, right? Introduction first and mention, and I go to data analysis right away, without having to write literature review and so on. So when we look at the results is so strange, difficult, right? So how to explain this? How to do this, for example? Okay, let's stop for a while, keep aside.
Cooling down first.
Read more, for example. There may be something out there, theory, that I may not know of, that I cannot explain yet right now. Right? But I may be able to explain later on, for example. So these are type of things that we do. You're not writing, okay, the results so strange, but let's take out the result that I cannot explain and just report this for the purpose of publication. It's not right. These are very important part. I always ask this to the students. Do you think that I'm successful author? They will say yes. And then I ask them, do you know how many rejections I got before my first publications? I have 8 rejections before my 9 publications, my 9 paper. I got accepted.
In this covers.
And that events in Malaysian journal. See? So it is normal to get rejected. What do you learn from rejections? Go back in the past. What have you learned? And when you got rejected, but for sure you have read a lot of things before. And that reading benefit you. If you want to know, I got the most rejections. I still get rejections. See?